وقال الملك ائتوني به فلما جاءه الرسول فلما جاءه الرسول قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم قال ما خطبكن إذ راوتن يوسف عن نفسه قلنا حاش لله ما علمنا عليه من سوء قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين وما أبرئ نفسي إن النفس لأمارة بالسوء إلا ما رحم ربي إن ربي غفور رحيم. Inshallah, today we're starting from ayah number 50 of Surah Yusuf. In the last lesson we learned Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was approached by the person whose dream he had interpreted, and he had become a servant inside the king's palace. And he was approached with the dream of the king, and Yusuf alayhi salam was instructed to interpret it. So he interpreted it, and the person went back, and the king was astonished at this whole episode that took place, that who is this person that interpreted this dream so well? I want to see him. So the king sent the same person back to bring Yusuf alayhi salam. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكِ ائْتُونِي بِهِ. The king said, bring him to me. Now think of yourself in that situation. 7 years you've been in prison, behind bars, in a dark cell, maybe on your own, maybe solitary confinement, maybe the food has been very basic. And your situation, my situation would be certainly that I would jump at the opportunity to leave that place and go as far away from it as possible, as soon as possible. But Yusuf alayhi salam said, no, I'm not leaving this place until my name is cleared. I'm in prison for the wrong actions of other people, and I was put in prison because of the fact that women were trying to do bad things to me. So to protect them, I was put into prison. So I want to clear my name, that I have no crime that I've committed, and I need a clean record. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُ الرَّسُولُ قَالَ ارْجِعْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ. When the messenger came to Yusuf alayhi salam, he said to him, go back to your master. Go back to your master, meaning go back to the king. فَاسْأَلْهُ, ask him, مَا بَالُ النِّسْوَةِ اللَّاتِي قَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنْ. What was the situation of those women that cut their hands? إِنَّ رَبِّي بِكَيْدِهِنَّ عَلِيمٌ. Indeed, my Lord, He is fully aware of their plotting. There are a couple of hadith related to this ayah. It is mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ikrimah radiyallahu ta'ala narrates, that the Prophet ﷺ said, لَقَدْ عَجِبْتُ مِنْ يُوسُفْ وَصَبْرِهِ وَكَرْمِهِ. I'm astonished, the Prophet ﷺ is saying this, I'm astonished at the sabr, the patience of Yusuf and his generosity. Wallahu yaghfiru lahu, may Allah forgive him. And this is kind of not because he committed a crime, it's just a phrase that it's mentioned, Wallahu yaghfiru lahu, as if a person is saying, may Allah bless him. حين سئل عن البقرات العجاف والسمان ولو كنت مكانه ما أجبتهم حتى أشترط أن يخرجوني. When Yusuf alayhi salam was asked for the interpretation of those dreams, of that dream in which there were 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, I would not have responded to them until I put a condition that they have to take me out of the prison first. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ is astonished at the patience of Yusuf ﷺ, that first of all, why did he interpret the dream for them? That he's been in prison for 7 years, and yet he had the nobility and the generosity to interpret the dream for them. And then the hadith goes on to say, وَلَقَدْ عَجِبْتُ مِنْ يُوسُفَ وَصَبْرِهِ وَكَرِمِهِ وَاللَّهُ يَغْفِرُ لَهُ حِينَ أتاه الرسول ولو كنت مكانه لبادرتهم الباب ولكنه أراد أن يكون له العذر. And I am astonished at Yusuf alayhi salam and his patience and his generosity, may Allah bless him, when the messenger came to him, meaning telling him to come to the king. If I was in his place, I would have raced them to the door. So the person came to get me, I would have rushed to the door before him to try to get out of that situation. But Yusuf alayhi salam wanted that there should be an udhr, an excuse for him, meaning that he wanted to clear his name. And this is something that is very important, that a person who has good character and he has self-respect, he doesn't want to have any kind of shadow of doubt hanging over his head related to his activity or his history or his background. So this is what happened with Yusuf alayhi salam, that to enable himself to get out of the prison and to make sure that there was no blemish on his character, he needed to set the record straight, and he wanted the king to investigate and make sure that he declares that Yusuf alayhi salam is completely innocent and his record is completely clean. There's a couple of hadith that we should mention at this point that are related to this issue of doubt and keeping oneself free from doubt. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, دَعْ مَا يَرِيبُكْ إِلَى مَا لَا يَرِيبُكْ. Leave that which puts you in doubt for that thing which does not put you in doubt. فَإِنَّ الْإِيمَانَ طَمَأْنِينَ وَالْكُفْرَ رَيْبَةٌ. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, that Islam and Iman and everything is to do with the peace of the heart and feeling comfortable. And kufr and things of that nature and sin, they put doubts in a person's heart. And so this is what is meant, that leave that which is doubtful for that which has no doubt in it. The other hadith is the story of Safiya radiallahu ta'ala anha, one of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this was once when the Prophet ﷺ was making i'tikaf. Safiya radiallahu ta'ala anha came to visit him, and she sat with him for a while, and when she got up to go, the Prophet ﷺ followed her to the door of the masjid and stood talking to her. In the meantime, they were talking near the door of the house of Salama. Now the houses of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ were adjoining the masjid. So one door led to the one wife and one door led to another wife. So many of the wives were, their houses were close to the masjid. So they were standing at the door of Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha when two people from the Ansar passed by. And they said salam to the Prophet ﷺ and then hurried away. The Prophet ﷺ, he called them back and specified to them that the lady that he's talking to is Safiya, meaning his own wife. And the Sahaba, the Ansar, they were astonished and they said, Ya Rasulullah, we never thought anything negative about you, and this is not something that we could even contemplate, that you are talking to some strange woman. But the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna shaytana yajri fil insan majra dam or makan dam. The shaitan, he goes through the blood of a human being. He basically runs in the blood vessels of the human being, and he could have put wasawis and bad thoughts in your heart about me, so I wanted to clear myself completely and make you understand that I am here standing and talking to my wife and nobody else. This is a huge lesson that we learn from this, that a person should not put himself into any kind of situation which results in a doubt being put upon him. And this is a subject of another hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ittaqu mawaqi'a tuham." Beware of excuse me, the places of tuham. Tuham means, it's a plural of tuhma, the places of accusation where you could be accused of something. And this is something that we need to understand, that Islam is a beautiful and preventative religion. And that's why there are many things that Islam has ordained that are seemingly not haram, for example, they're not impermissible, but because they could lead to something impermissible, Islam has forbidden those things, and it's impermissible to be engaging in them. For example, and so somebody actually just now, an hour ago, gave me a call and asked me the question, that if a female colleague asks me to give her a ride from work to somewhere, is it permissible for me to do that? So I said clearly that this is against the concept of Islam and the teachings of Islam, that a person should be alone with a person of the opposite gender. The Prophet ﷺ said, when there are a man and a woman are together alone, then the third one with them is the shaitan. So just imagine if this principle was implemented in every single workplace, in every single facility, in every single school, in every single college. How many evils would we see eradicated from society? That a person is not alone with a female counterpart. So I told him that simply, and this is something for everybody's benefit, that if you take a third person along with you, maybe she needs the ride and she's in your direction, and it's very impolite for you to refuse her. Take along a third person with you, so that there is no possibility of, first of all, the shaitan playing tricks on your mind, and secondly, her making false accusations against you. And this has happened too. This happens too in many workplaces, in many communities. False accusations on the basis of just because you don't like the person, or because on the basis of you just want to make some money by putting a lawsuit upon the person. So there are wisdoms in the teachings of Islam that sometimes we fail to understand, but nevertheless there are wisdoms there. So this is a situation. Yusuf alayhi salam is trying to clear himself and clean himself from the accusation or any kind of doubt against him, and that's why he refuses to leave the prison. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Al-Karim ibn al-Karim ibn al-Karim. He is the noble one, who's the son of a noble one, who's the son of a noble one. How? Yusuf ibn Yaqub ibn Ishaq ibn Ibrahim. He is Yusuf, noble one, son of Yaqub, noble one, prophet obviously, and Ishaq, son of Ishaq, and he, the son of Ibrahim, basically 4 generations of prophets, subhanallah. لو لبثت في السجن ما لبثت لو لبثت في السجن ما لبث ثم جاءني الرسول أجبت. The Prophet ﷺ said that if I had spent the time in prison that Yusuf ﷺ had spent in the prison, and then the messenger from the king came to me, I would have responded immediately to the messenger. But like I said, he wanted to clear his name, so he said, go and investigate this story. So now this is again something that we see on so many occasions, especially with politicians and hearings that take place before politicians are put into office. That something that was in their record 7 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it comes out. And unfortunately these things can happen to anyone, that a person's record is basically traced, and then things come out, skeletons come out of the closet. Now this issue came up, maybe the women who were involved, they thought, okay, it happened, and now it's in the past, and nothing's going to happen to us, and we're not going to be questioned about it anymore. All of a sudden, the king starts this inquiry and starts asking the question from those women that what actually happened. So, the next ayah, it is the king asking those women. As we said last week, that is in the Quran, we don't have, needless details. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gets right to the point. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, research this issue, clarify this issue. The next ayah, the king is talking to the women. And he's saying, قَالَ مَا خَطْبُكُنَّ إِذْ رَاوَدْتُنَّ يُوسُفَ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. What is your khatb? Khatb here means, it could mean bayan, or it can also mean hal. What was your situation when you tried to seduce Yusuf alayhi salam? قُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ مَا عَلِمْنَا عَلَيْهِ مِنْ سُوءٍ. They said, maybe they felt a little bit of guilt that because of us, he was in prison for so many years. They didn't say anything about themselves, but they said about Yusuf at least that Hasha lillah. Hasha lillah, it's basically a kind of term of negation. And the comparative word maybe in Arabic is I swear. We swear that ma alimna alayhi min su', that we didn't see any kind of evil emanate from Yusuf alayhi salam. We don't know of any kind of evil that Yusuf alayhi salam did. So meaning that he's completely innocent. And now the wife of the Aziz, where Yusuf alayhi salam was staying, she also joined in as part of the conversation. And she said, قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق. The wife of the Aziz, she said that now the truth has emerged. It has emerged and it has become clear that no evil befell from Yusuf alayhi salam. He was innocent. أنا راودته عن نفسي وإنه لمن الصادقين. I tried to seduce him from myself, and he is truthful. He didn't do anything wrong. So Yusuf alayhi salam, he is clear, his record is clear after so many years. Then the next ayah says, and there's a difference of opinion as to who is mentioning the next ayah, who is talking in the next ayah. If you look at the flow of the wording, it is probably Imratul Aziz. So we'll translate according to that. ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. Imratul Aziz, the wife of the Aziz, is saying that this is so that he knows, meaning my husband knows, أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ, that I didn't do anything evil behind his back. Meaning, yes, I tried to seduce him and I tried to do something bad to him, but I didn't succeed in doing it, and I didn't do anything behind his back, meaning I was not successful in it. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not guide the evil plans of the people that make khiyana, meaning that betray people's trust. So this is one interpretation, that the wife of the Aziz is saying this sentence. The other interpretation is that Yusuf alayhi salam, he is saying this. And from his perspective, he is also saying that his master, the person who bought him and put him in his house, he's saying, ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمْ. This is so that my master knows that I did not do anything behind his back. I didn't do anything evil behind his back, meaning that his wife did try to seduce me, and I didn't succumb to that seduction, and I did not do anything evil with his wife. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not guide the evil plans of the people that do evil or betray people's trust. And then it goes on to say, وَمَا أُبَرِّيُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِسُوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. I do not claim that my nafs is completely innocent. Okay, there's three stages of a person's nafs, a person's self, a person's character, you can say. There are 3 stages that a person goes through. Inshallah, we will discuss those next week in detail. But here, nafs ammara bisu is being mentioned. That is the stage of every person's nafs. When a person does not work on his nafs and he does not try to control his nafs, then he is controlled by his nafs. If he doesn't try to control his nafs controls him. So the nafs tells him, eat this, he will eat it. The nafs tells him, drink this, he will drink it. The nafs tells him that commit zina, he will commit zina. The nafs tells him go to a nightclub, he will go to that nightclub. He doesn't try to control his nafs because he doesn't have any kind of built-in conscience that prevents him from doing that. He's basically listening to the nafs at all times. So in this ayah, Yusuf alayhi salam is saying that I'm not saying that my nafs is completely innocent. Inna nafsa la ammaratun bisu. This nafsul ammara bisu, it is with everyone. Illa ma rahima rabbi. Except for that person who my Lord has raham and mercy upon. And raham and mercy in everyone's case is that a person, he gets guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he differentiates between right and wrong, between a halal and haram. And if the nafs tells him, eat this, and he looks at the ingredients and says, no, this is haram, I cannot. Drink this, no, this has alcohol in it, I cannot. Go to such and such a place, no, haram activities take place there, I cannot. This is the thing, this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He guides His slaves, His servants, and His servants listen to that guidance. They will not listen to nafs ammara bisu, that nafs that tells them to do evil, and those will be saved. And that is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is being mentioned here in the Rabbi Ghafur Rahim. So even as a prophet, Yusuf alayhi salam is saying that we all have as human beings this nafs attached to us, and we should not feel at ease that we would never be made to slip up through that nafs. So anyway, at the end he says, Inna Rabbi Ghafur Rahim, indeed my Lord, He is Ghafur, He is forgiving, and He is merciful. And with this inshallah we finish, and we will continue with the subject next week. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us tawfiq to understand and practice what has been said and heard.